If you've been holding it down at work, parenting on fumes, managing your relationship, and maybe a relationship that feels heavy, and trying to stay consistent with your sobriety and all the other life things, and you feel like you're falling short, you're not alone. Oftentimes, no matter how hard you try to keep it all together, it still feels like it's not enough. I've been there, my friend. In fact, I'm in it right now. This past month has been a mix of everything, hosting MVPs from our private member community, the Sober Society. They all came to Kansas City. Caring for my father after his stroke, running my businesses, managing the podcast, and having zero time to catch my breath. It's all beautiful stuff, and it's a lot. And even though I'm holding it together, I still catch myself feeling behind and stretched thin, and honestly feeling a little bad about myself because I feel like I should be better at this by now. So if that's where you are too, this episode is your reset. Today, we're talking about what to do when life feels out of control and how to stay grounded in your sobriety without slipping into shame, burnout, or trying to look fine while you're quietly falling apart. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Addiction Unlimited podcast, where you get to learn everything you want to know about addiction and recovery. I'm your host, Angela Pugh, co-founder of Kansas City Recovery, life coach, and recovering alcoholic. To learn more about me, you can listen to episode 0 on your podcast app or find us on the web at addictionunlimited.com. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. I'm Angela Pugh, and if you're new here, I'm so glad you found this space. Around here, we talk about quitting drinking, rebuilding your life, and doing it all with honesty, intention, and a lot of emotional strength. This week, we're digging into something so many of us deal with, especially if you're the one everyone else leans on. It's that feeling of being pulled in every direction: work, family, parenting, caregiving, and still somehow expecting yourself to stay perfectly on top of your sobriety routine, your journaling, your structure, your mindset, all the things. And when you don't, that inner voice kicks in going, "You're behind. You should have handled that better. You should be trying harder." If that sounds familiar, this episode is here to give you permission to breathe again. We're going to talk about what control really looks like in sobriety, why letting go doesn't mean giving up, and how to reset yourself when life throws you off your rhythm. And I'll be straight with you. This isn't just a busy week. It's a full-on, hold it all together, survival mode month. Again, I'm helping care for my dad after a stroke, which is 1,000 phone calls, meds 3 times a day. He can't drive. I'm also in a major overhaul of my business, new offers, new systems, new everything. I've got littles to love and spend time with, and I'm trying to maintain some kind of consistency with them. In the middle of all of that, I'm still trying to be a grown-up who eats well, works out, meditates every day, and God forbid, has a social life. It's a lot, like holy shit levels of a lot. And even though I'm doing it, showing up, being present, checking the boxes, I feel it, that pressure, that heaviness. And I also have that voice creeping in going, "You're behind. You should be doing more. You're letting things slide." And here's the part that hits hardest. Even though I'm not drinking, even though I'm functioning, I can feel myself tightening the grip, right? Trying to control every detail just to feel okay. That's what control looks like in sobriety. It's not always yelling or obsessing. It's silent. It's internal. It's micromanaging our lives to death. And if you're in that place right now, trying to hold all the pieces together, convincing yourself you're fine, but secretly you're stretched to the edge, I want you to hear me right now. You're not falling apart. You're carrying too much. You are over capacity. And you don't have to force yourself to hold it all together. This is the work. learning how to let go without giving up, learning how to be present without being perfect, learning how to reset even when life refuses to slow down. The truth is, most of us don't realize we're trying to control everything. We just think we're handling it or being responsible or staying on top of things. So you might not think of yourself as someone who's trying to control everything. But control doesn't always look like barking orders or being a perfectionist. Sometimes it's way more subtle than that and way more emotionally exhausting. Maybe for you, it's snapping at your partner because they didn't load the dishwasher your way. Not because you care about the dishes, but because your whole day was crazy and exhausting. And now not even the dishes can be done right, right? It's like this was your last straw. Or maybe it's obsessively cleaning the house before your in laws arrive, not because you're neat, but because if everything looks okay, then maybe you'll feel okay. And if everything looks okay, you can make them believe you're okay. Or maybe it's trying to manage your kids' moods so nobody has a meltdown, which is impossible, by the way. Those little creatures are going to melt down no matter what. But you're constantly scanning for problems, anticipating every need, and you're fried by noon, but you still feel guilty for not being more patient. You might be tracking your partner's moods like it's your full-time job, trying to keep the peace or not rock the boat. Maybe you've got a partner that you've got to manage their drinking. Or maybe you're keeping secrets, keeping it together, playing the strong one because asking for help feels like losing control or feels like it makes other people think you're not in control. Or how this comes out at work. Maybe you're rewriting emails 10 times, over preparing for every meeting and still not feeling like it's quite ready and still feeling like you're not doing enough or you're not good enough. You push through exhaustion, skip breaks, say yes when you want to say no. That's not just overfunctioning, that's control. It's your brain trying to create certainty in a world that feels uncertain and unsafe. But here's the cost of that. That control is stealing your peace. It's making sobriety feel like a punishment instead of freedom. All right. So let's say you're in the middle of one of those weeks or one of those months where everything feels out of control. You're off your routine. Your emotions are louder than your logic. You are way over functioning. Here's what I want you to do. This is my 3-step reset formula. And it's what I use myself when I feel that pressure to fix or manage or get it together. When I feel that taking over, this is what I do. Step 1, name it. Literally say it out loud or write it down. Like, I'm maxed out right now. I feel behind and it's triggering me to feel inadequate. I'm trying to control everything to feel safe. Whatever it is, name it. Say it out loud or write it down. When you name what's happening, you take the power away from the shame spiral. It's no longer this invisible pressure. It's just a moment. And we can work with that. So take a breath, name it, remind yourself it's a moment, not a life sentence. Step 2 is recommit. Gently recommit. What's one thing you can anchor into today? Not 5 things, not everything, just one. When things go off track, we usually try to get back to the plan, back to the routine, back to the checklist. But that's not what matters most, not today. Instead, I want you to recommit to yourself. Can you take a 2-minute breather? Can you take 5 minutes to walk outside? Can you say no to something that's draining you? This isn't about getting back on track in some perfect way. It's recommitting to yourself and your well-being, not your to-do list. This is about proving to yourself that you can reconnect with your power without the pressure. And step 3 is redirect that narrative. This is the one that changes the game. Ask yourself, like, what story am I telling myself right now? Maybe it's I'm behind, or I always fall off when things get hard. Or for me, it's I should be better at this by now, right? But flip the script and tell yourself, I'm learning how to stay steady when life isn't. or I'm not failing, I'm at capacity, right? Your sobriety isn't about perfection, it's about resilience. Resilience is being able to bounce back, get back on track when life throws you off. Understand it's not a personal attack. You're not being punished. It's just life being life. You don't have to be perfect and do everything right, but you do have to bounce back and get back on track when life acts like a jerk, which it will a lot. Recovery is really about what you do when the routine breaks. That's what emotional sobriety looks like. So here's what I want you to hear, maybe more than anything else in this episode. You don't need to push harder to prove your progress. You don't need to control every detail to stay sober and feel safe. Your power isn't in being perfect. It's in how quickly you can come back to yourself, even when everything else feels off. Strength used to mean pushing through, showing up no matter what, smiling on the outside when you're dying on the inside. But that version of strength is outdated. Now, strength is asking for help. It's saying no without feeling guilty. It's taking the damn nap if that's what you need. Letting something go, not because you don't care, but because you matter too. This season of your life doesn't need the old you who powered through. It needs the real you, the one who knows how to pause, reset, and lead yourself forward, even in the mess. And that, my friend, is the kind of sobriety that lasts. And that's exactly why this conversation matters, because when life feels chaotic, when your routine breaks down and the pressure builds, your brain will try to convince you that you're slipping. But what if the truth is you're not slipping at all? What if this moment of choosing to pause, reset, and realign is the proof that your sobriety is working? This isn't about staying perfectly on track. It's about learning how to trust yourself when everything else feels out of control. That's the real work. And that's where your strength lives now. If you're in a season where everything feels heavy and you're holding it all together on the outside, but inside you're stretched too thin, second guessing yourself, or starting to drift from your sobriety rhythm, do not continue to drift and not take action. I have 2 private coaching spots opening up. And if this episode hit home for you, this is your invitation. Coaching is where we map out exactly what's keeping you stuck. We build real tools and structure to help you move forward with confidence, not pressure. And if you're ready to stop carrying it all and actually get support, you can book a free call with me today, addictionunlimited.com/call. The link is always in the show notes as well, addictionunlimited.com/call. Let's talk about what you need, what's next, and how we can do it together. You don't have to be in control of everything to stay sober. You don't have to earn your peace or prove your progress or hold it all together to be okay. You're allowed to have hard weeks and messy months and moments where everything feels like too much and still be deeply committed to the life you're building. Sobriety isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about learning how to stay rooted in yourself when the world around you is anything but steady. And that means there will be weeks or even seasons where your routine falls apart, your emotions run high, and you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water. But none of that means you're failing. It means you're human and you're doing the work and showing up. That's why I shared that 3-step reset with you today. You start by naming what's real so the shame spiral loses its power. You recommit to yourself, not the version of you that's crushing it, but to the one who's tired and still showing up anyway. And you redirect that narrative because the story you tell yourself when life gets messy is the one that shapes everything that comes next. When you start practicing these steps, you stop living in fear of falling off track. You stop seeing hard days as evidence that you're slipping. This is how you create a life that actually feels safe, a life where you don't need to grip everything so tightly, a life where you don't disappear into the overwhelm, but you come back to yourself again and again with grace and truth and power. That's what changes everything. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. And if you want to talk about it, jump in the Facebook group. I'd love to chat with you and hear your thoughts. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you next week.
You've reached the end of another great episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. Candid and honest conversation about addiction and recovery. Be sure to visit us at addictionunlimited.com to join the conversation and access show notes and links to everything we talked about. Love this episode? Please take 30 seconds to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes to help us improve and give you the information you want. Thanks for listening. See you next week.